the last one and the important one, input 3. For this input 3, you need to give a reference node, again, the reference node, which explains the structure of the target. Confusing, right? Let me explain this from the XML document. Let's understand how order ID is represented in the target. See, the order ID is in different parent nodes. See, the 001 is in different context. This 001 also is in different context. This order ID is also in different context. So your order ID should be placed under different parent nodes. In other words, your order ID should have different context at the output, which is fine. We understand this. But how we can provide a reference for this one? So you have to find a field which has the same structure as the order ID. So item is repeating, yes, and item ID. And observe the structure of item ID. This item ID is under one parent node, and the item ID is under different parent node, and this item ID is also under different parent node, and it is appearing as many times as the item. See, it is appearing multiple times, and it has the same structure as the order ID in the target. So you cannot manipulate the output structure. You have to obey the output structure. You have to generate your target XML as expected, right? So you have to obey the structure, and this order ID has the same structure as the item ID. Same goes to product ID as well. Product ID is also repeating multiple times, and this product ID is also under different parent nodes. So you can take it as a reference. But whenever you are taking the input 3, it has to be a mandatory field. It should have minimum occurrence as 1. Otherwise, it's going to fail. So this either the item ID or the product ID or any of these fields under the item follows the same structure as the order ID in the output. So you can take any of these as your reference. So I'll take item ID as my reference node. Drag it and drop here. And done. Let me simulate this. Test. See, it is complaining again, but with a different field, customer ID. We didn't handle the context properly for the customer ID, right? It is also appearing only once in the source XML, but we need to repeat it multiple times in the target. So for our demonstration, let me disable this for now. This customer ID, let me disable this for now and simulate. Test. See, order ID is repeated across multiple structures. The same value is repeating multiple times, even though you have only one occurrence or it appears only one time in the source XML. So this is how we use the useOneAsMany. Let me display the queue here at useOneAsMany. So this is the display queue. It is confusing, but there are two rules you have to keep in mind to be able to map or rely on this useOneAsMany properly. The first rule is the number of context in input 1 should equal to the number of context in input 2. So we are talking about this field and this field. The input 1 context or number of contexts of input 1 should be equal to the number of contexts in input 2. See, we have only one context, and input 2 also has one context. This is the item node. This square bracket indicates that it has many child nodes. It doesn't have a value. It has child nodes as its value. So this input 1 has the same number of contexts as the input 2. This is the first rule, clear. The second rule, the number of values in input 2 should be equal to the number of values in input 3. That's it. So we have 1, 2, 3 values in the input 2. Forget about this grayed out area. Focus on the white background only. We have 3 values. See how many values we have in the input 3? 1, 2, and 3. Forget about the grayed out area. Only on the white space. 1, 2, and 3. So the values in input 2 should equal to the values in input 3. So these are the 2 rules, but don't have to worry about these 2 rules once you understand how to give the 3 inputs. Clear, right? So let me show you the nodes. So why do we use one as many? It repeats a single source value across multiple target nodes, right? What should be the first input? The field value to be repeated. Which field you want to repeat? We want to repeat order ID, right? So we have to take the order ID. Second input, the number of times the value should be repeated. So you have to provide a reference node for this one. The number of times the order ID should be repeated. How many number of times the item appears in the source, we have to generate the order ID that many number of times. So we take the item as the input 2. The third last one, the field whose context determines the structure of the output. So you have to provide the reference of your target context here. So from the source, you have item ID and product ID, right? So we can use any of this or the quantity and other fields under the item, which has the same context of the order ID at the target. So you have to observe the target structure and the source structure as well, right? So we also discussed about 2 rules. The first rule is the number of context changes in input 1 and input 2 should be equal. The context changes should be equal in input 1 and 2. That is the first rule. The second rule, the number of values in input 2 and input 3 should be equal. The total number of values, regardless of the context changes, this number of values in input 2 should be equal to the input 3. So this is about use one as many. Once you practice and once you understand, this would be a very, very easy thing for you and you can answer the interview questions confidently, right? So let's finish the mapping. We have the last field, the customer ID. I'll enable this. We already defined the mapping for the order ID. The same goes to the customer ID as well. So what I can do is I'll simply copy this, copy the entire expression, go to this customer ID, remove this, and use this paste button. Remove the order ID. We are trying to repeat the customer ID, not the order ID. So map this. The remaining 2 will stay same. Connect this. If you simulate, test, see, we got the expected output. The customer ID is also repeating multiple times, even though it appears only one time in the source.